Hello, welcome to my kitchen. I'd like to share my video on making baguettes using a stand mixer. I'm going to be making 3 baguettes with my 70% hydration dough today. Let's get started and assemble the ingredients. Obviously, we're going to need flour, water, salt, and yeast. Here we have 590 grams of flour weighed out. Next we'll bring the water, and the water for this recipe will weigh 413 grams. Then we'll do the salt at 12 grams and the yeast at 8 grams. Now let's combine our flour and yeast in our mixing bowl. Then we'll add the salt, whisk that in, and then move the bowl over to the mixer. And we'll start it up on maybe number 2 setting and add the water. And what we want to do is just bring this dough into a ball. We want to incorporate all the flour into the water, but we don't have to mix it and knead it for a long period like you do with other breads. We just want to bring this together. Here we're scraping down the bowl just to take the flour off the side, let it finish up mixing just a little bit. And we'll get ready to move this bowl into my oven where I have the oven light on, so it creates a warm environment for the dough. And we'll let this dough rest for 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how much time you have. So I set the timer for 45 minutes. The dough's going into the oven with the light on. Our timer's going off at the end of our first rest period. We've dampened a clean countertop and we've dampened our hands. So now we want to slap, stretch, and fold. Slap, stretch, and fold. Rotate the dough between slaps, and now we'll let it rest again. Now we're at the end of our second resting period. Let's do one more slap, stretch, and fold on the countertop with some damp hands and a damp surface. We'll slap, stretch, fold, rotate, slap, stretch, fold, rotate. Now we're going back into the oven for our third rest. The dough, the more rest you give it, the more flavor you will get in your dough. Here we're at the end of that third rest. We're going to pull it out, dampen, get the dough out onto the countertop where we want to one more time slap, stretch, fold, rotate, slap, stretch, fold, rotate. I'm sure you're getting tired of hearing that, but it's repetitive, it's easy. You'll get the hang of it after doing it once or twice. So now we're going to let it rest for the last time. Now we're at the end of our resting period, so it's time to get our dough out and divide it up into our 3 loaves. I'm going to make the loaves at 340 grams. If you could see on the scale, the target is 340. So I'm taking the dough ball, working it together, pushing the air out, pre-shaping it for the loaf. Here I'll measure out 340 again. And we'll combine the dough, push out the air, fold it in half a few times, and pre-shape it into a baguette. I have 2 loaves going on one large pan and one on the third pan. Here we got the third one, push the air out, pre-shape, fold, push it onto that third one. Now we have 3 baguettes that we need to rest just for a little while. I put them back in the oven to let them proof for about 40 minutes. And I scored them with a knife, if you could see those cut lines. I preheated my oven to 425. I heated water and placed it in a pan in the oven to create steam. Here you can see that the loaves were about 10 minutes into their bake. They're starting to take on color. And here we have them on the countertop. They were roughly 35 minutes in the oven. They're a little fat. I think I could have rolled them out longer. If you like a true baguette, they should be a little longer and thinner. But the taste was great.